We cannot be afraid of lifting heavy. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. Again, one of these problems a lot of people have, they have this fear of lifting heavy, they have a fear of maxing out, and oftentimes it manifests in strange ways. This whole need to psych up is a perfect example. Like you see people who need to scream, they need to slap themselves, and it's one thing if it's a contest and you need that adrenaline. It's another thing completely when it's a gym lift. Like notice you guys watched me just walk over and do a 500-pound good morning as an old man. I'm 48 years old, guys. Did a 500-pound good morning. Notice I did it all calm. We did it collect. We did it chill. Why? Because being psyched up gets you hurt. And the reason it gets you hurt is that people do it out of fear. They do it because it's like, man, I'm not brave enough to just walk over and lift this weight. Right? They're not brave enough to just grab a heavy weight, to just walk over like that, 320 on a close grip because that bar is 52 pounds. And just chill. Just flat back, walk over and just bench it. Yeah, it's a close grip. It's hard. So what? Bench the weight. Lift the weight. That's all you have to do. Okay? Get up and just do it. The problem is people get afraid. And when you're psyched up because you're afraid or you're afraid of a weight, you get nervous, what do you think happens? You start walking scenarios through your head. You start doubting yourself. You start visualizing getting pinned under that weight. You visualize getting hurt. All right? This is a problem. This is a problem. Because if you are afraid of that weight before you even get under it, that weight owns you. That weight owns you. Because now it's in your head. Now you're visualizing yourself missing. You're visualizing yourself getting hurt, especially if you're afraid of getting hurt. And it's a valid fear if you're jumping in doing a bunch of bad form. And we see this a lot. How many guys do we see the high school football teams, all these young guys, they need to scream and get psyched up, and they use a terrible form and everyone's encouraging it, and they ultimately get hurt. And people then say stupid stuff like, well, you got to earn the right to max out. Really, I can have your grandma max out. As long as you've been training 6, 7, 8 weeks already and you know basic form, you can max out. The problem is when people can't do it calmly. They can't just walk over and say, you know what? Let me just get tight. Let me dig in. Learn to brace, squeeze the bar hard, and come in and just lift. Okay? It's when they get in their head. This is where people get hurt. If you know how to lift, you know how to lift. Do you know how to perform a bench press? You know how to perform a deadlift? Then what's the problem? Walk over and do it. And I see this all the time. I get younger clients who are guys, and especially the online stuff, because it's a little harder to get through some of this stuff through the internet, and then to try to video call them and tell them, well, look, I need you to quit being psyched up. Walk over and deadlift the weight. They do a minute-long ritual where they flare their arms around and they have to do 17 things, and their arms go 12 different movements, doing whatever voodoo signs in the air. Okay? See me doing that? Do you guys watch me just walk over and do a deficit deadlift? No, you just walk over, dig your hips in, get tight, grab the bar and pull. It's not a big deal, guys. Stop making it the big deal. This is what gets you hurt, because then you get these whole elaborate rituals and you're not focused on being tight. Being loose hurts you. Okay, people say, what about tearing biceps on the deadlift with a mixed grip? That hurts you. That only happens if you're loose. Let me state that again. What do you think tears biceps on the deadlift? You think it's because you're doing the mixed grip? Sure, that's going to have a higher risk of it, but plenty of people tear their biceps overhand grip with straps. Why? Because they get loose and jerk. They're not tight. Because if you're tight, your elbows will be locked. If your elbows are locked, how are you going to tear a bicep? No, I really mean that. If you're strong enough to deadlift 500 pounds and you've built the tendons, there's no way a 500-pound deadlift is tearing your bicep unless you're loose. You have your arms bent. Well, how about if you squat into the weight? You squat, drop, and then jerk it up. Well, that means you got loose. If you're tight and you pull yourself into the weight with your elbows locked, you ratchet in tight and leverage yourself in when you pull, there's no way your elbows bend. It's when you drop, instead of pulling yourself forward into the weight, then you have a bend in the elbow and then you jerk. That's when you rip biceps off the bone. Now, I'm not talking about rep work, because heavy work, we're talking singles. Yeah, people get hurt their backs on rep work on deadlifts because they bounce the weight off the floor instead of a full reset and wedging in and getting tight again. Get tight, stay tight. If you're focused on staying tight, you don't get hurt. You focus on learning how to let a weight go straight down. If you fail, anybody think about that? Do you damage your shoulders on a max bench if you just let it come straight down when you miss? Or how many guys, they get to the bottom of a bench and they pop their elbows, right? They roll them forward and then back. They got loose and they wonder why their shoulder hurts, right? Or how about when you're getting close to missing a bench, instead of letting it come down, you let the bar drift over your face. I'm not talking about the throat crush, I'm talking about the shoulder injuries. Had you just missed the lift and let the weight come straight down on a fail, straight down in a straight line back onto your lower chest, you wouldn't have got hurt. It's pushing that bar up over your face. Lifting your butt off the bench too to do it, to grind that last bit into that bad position. It hurts your shoulders. Had you just been calm and missed the lift correctly, I failed it, I better let it go straight down. Same thing on a squat. You set the safety pins, you just go straight down. Don't let it jerk you forward. You miss, just drop straight onto the safeties. Or let it ride with the weight on the way down. Done. And if you're calm and you're not scared, that's all that happens. Set the safety arms correctly on everything, assuming you don't have multiple spotters. Let the weights go straight down. Same thing on a missed deadlift. Everything's going bad, then just let it go straight down. Done. Don't try to do that little shimmy and where you pull it and hitch up your thighs. Just stop. You miss it, just miss. Go straight down. Done. You don't get hurt. But that only happens if you're calm. And if you're afraid, you're not going to be calm. You don't need to be afraid of max weights. You don't need to be afraid of lifting heavy. You need to respect it, but do not be afraid of it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.